Brother, do you ever feel like you're just stuck? Like you're not progressing even when you know you should be? It's not a bug, it's not a flaw, and it's definitely not a reason to feel like you're a failure. Our brains haven't yet evolved to deal with our more complex modern world. Just like me and you, we are dealing with the same evolutionary materials and systems meant to keep us in homeostasis. In other words, our brains have evolved to keep us comfortable. And failing to see this natural brain function as a bug or your fault keeps you stagnant. I can tell you now you're going to be okay, and here's why. Your emotions and thoughts aren't the full picture because they aren't always aligned with your potential. They're often just a brain signal to stay comfortable. And when you know your brain's just trying to keep things the same, you have a choice to push through those tricky feelings and thoughts that are keeping you where you are for survival, because you understand they're just part of growing, not reasons to stop. But the question is, how do we understand this in an actionable way, brother? First is to realise the fundamental human drive is to learn. But why is this drive to learn relevant? And it's relevant because learning is our brain's way to get us to learn and adapt for survival. And the truth to recognise is the brain will always give you resistance signals when you push beyond comfort. The brain loves comfort for a few fundamental and evolutionary reasons, brother. To preserve energy, for predictability and safety, for survival, and it's rewarding. And here's a deeper insight into the reasons why. So to preserve energy, your brain is incredibly power hungry for thinking, planning, adapting to new situations and engaging in challenging tasks. And this all requires a lot of energy, and staying in the familiar of comfort and comfortable routines is energy efficiency for the brain. Like turning down the brightness on your phone or putting it into an energy saving mode reduces how much charge you'll use up. Your brain does the same by making comfort the default desirable state. For predictability and safety, the brain is a prediction engine, always searching for a way to keep things the same or comfortable. Things to occur again and again by predicting what will happen next. The daily routines your brain follows are highly predictable and comfortable, most importantly, because when the brain feels you're pushing beyond comfort, it introduces unpredictability through reacting with alarm bells. And these alarm bells are the persistent thoughts telling you you're not enough, there's no point going on this diet because it's never worked in the past. It will always spurt bullshit excuses to make you stop and to remain in a state of comfort, even if it's just social discomfort or the risk of feeling inadequate. Staying comfortable feels safe and predictable, even if it's stagnant. For our survival instincts, so in our evolutionary past, new ideas and discomfort were often associated with genuine threats, so like things like new predators and unfamiliar territory. Even though in our modern world our brains still have the hardwired routines for the known and the comfortable as a survival mechanism, the default is always to retreat to safety in comfort when uncertainty arises. And for the reward systems, comfort can be associated with lower stress and effort, which your brain can see as rewarding, like when you want to get up in the morning and go to the gym for your New Year's resolution, but you feel the warmth and safety in the bed. You snooze your alarm, stay in bed, and keep your gains but a dream. So your brain will register relief in the short term, giving you even greater resistance when you decide in the future to take on new challenging experiences offering different kinds of rewards, right? So like accomplishment and mastery in life. So this could be getting a promotion through your hard work or completing a marathon. The link here is that these are all difficult things that require you to have a simple system or systems giving you a way to act despite your brain saying no to you going along the way. To act despite your brain saying no to you along the way. This is why doing difficult shit is worth every ounce of energy used up in not just the physical journey you take on to train and finish a marathon, for example, but the more important earned confidence and evidence created in the mental pursuit of that marathon. The countless times you had to return back on track from comfort zones, injury, etc., is where the wealth of life really stacks up for you, not against you. The takeaway here is that when you step outside of your comfort zone, you aren't doing the wrong things. It's the brain's protection and conservation mechanism. It's a feature, not a bug, of a system designed for a survival in a less complex environment. But this can be mistaken in the internal dialogue, the drive to mature and learning, understands this systematic drive for comfort doesn't have to dictate your path. It's a feature for survival in an older world, not a guide for growth in the modern one. But not all is lost, brother, because this next section will blow you away, I promise you. And no, I'm not going to tell you to eat a certain diet or try out a revolutionary training plan. You just have to practice being open-minded and willing to embrace temporary discomfort until the comfort you voluntarily choose becomes your new level of comfort, your new homeostasis, unlocking the life to finally live authentically you. And here's how you begin. Every time you notice resistance from pushing beyond your comfort zones, remember this. The new definition of discipline for me is I prioritize my future self over the needs of me right now. Alright, brother, we've dug into why your brain wants to keep you comfortable. It's not a personal flaw, it's old wiring, and you've got those internal whispers proving it. Now, understanding is step one, but putting it into action is where the real shift happens. It's like learning the rules of the game before you start playing. So to start navigating this comfort-seeking system and begin making conscious progress, you need to practice awareness paired with optimism. Think of it as building your inner GPS to guide you past the brain's default stay put setting. Here are 5 ways you can start practicing this immediately to recognize those comfort signals and choose a different path. First, you'll learn to observe and note those specific thoughts. Then we'll explore how to do a body scan for resistance. Third, you can start labeling the voice that wants you to stay comfortable. Fourth, we'll master the "and I know" reframe. And fifth, we'll use visualizations of beyond the discomfort. These are your tools, brother, your entry points into actively working with your brain and not against it. Let's dive into how to use each one. So starting with step 1, recognizing the signal. So this looks like identifying the feeling of discomfort, resistance, or the internal dialogue. Things like, I'm not cut out for this. What's the point anyway? Nothing I do seems to make a real difference. And it's too much effort right now. I'm too tired, stressed, and busy. Understand this is the brain's comfort mechanism activating. Practice simple awareness partnered with awareness around these feelings, like the observe and note technique. Okay, noting the thought, I'm not cut out for this. Don't judge it or argue with it in the initial moment. Just acknowledge its presence. Then immediately follow with this reframe. Okay, brain, I hear you're feeling resistant because this is new and uncomfortable, but I'm choosing to see this as a signal for growth. I know pushing through this small bit will get me further. This creates separation from the thought. And if you want to know more ways and techniques, go to the link in the description and download for free 5 ways to recognize the signal. Moving on to step 2, small voluntary discomfort. Start with tiny actions that push you slightly outside comfort. An example is taking a different route home, trying one new food, initiating a brief conversation with a stranger, doing one push-up every time you go into your kitchen, reading for 5 minutes on a difficult topic. The key is that you choose it, and that's the most important thing. It's voluntary, you do it. Step 3, reframe the narrative, focus on emotion. So consciously tell yourself, discomfort is a sign of growth for me, not danger. So connecting the temporary discomfort to the why, the future self you're building, which is the emotion side, visualizing the outcome like a vision board, or perhaps more focus on the feeling of accomplishment or future positive state, or even just writing it down, exactly what you want to achieve. So make the cost of inaction, staying stagnant, more emotionally significant than the temporary discomfort of acting. And now step 4, disrupt the routine. Agitation. Make small intentional changes to your daily environment or habits that break autopilot. Rearrange your workspace, change your morning routine slightly, take a different public transport route, and wear something you don't usually wear. This signals to the brain that the old script isn't running, and you then train a new one, which you are cleverly masking as discomfort. And step 5, consistent repetition. So repeat these small voluntary discomforts and intentional disruptions regularly, because the more you expose your brain to choosing discomfort, followed by a neutral or positive experience, the more it learns that discomfort isn't always a threat and can lead to a new, predictable, and eventually comfortable patterns. Look, brother, understanding why your brain does what it does is half the battle. And practicing those awareness techniques we talked about, observing, noting, feeling it, labeling that voice, reframing, visualization, that's where the rubber meets the road here. It takes practice, but every single time you recognize that comfort signal and choose to engage it differently, you're rewiring the old programming. You're building new pathways. To help you now really drill down on that crucial first step, the ability to spot the signal as it happens, I've put together something extra, and it's a material for you to download, for you to have forever. Think of it as your field guide to identifying the comfort committee's sneaky tactics, right? It's called the 5 crucial ways to recognize a signal. You can download that right now. Just hit the link in the description below. Remember to download these extra materials to arm you to recognize the signal. It's a foundation for everything else that we have discussed today. And if you enjoy this type of content, brother, go and check out Stop the Drift, 5 Steps to Build Your Purpose and Beat Distraction. And if you found even the smallest speck of value in this video, and if you're ready to stop feeling stuck and start architecting the life that you want, then like the video and hit that subscribe button, please, and join the community of brothers who are actively choosing growth over comfort. Peace. Boom. Nice, motherfucker.